Create your own economic stimulus. In this educational episode, I'm going to address how to survive and thrive during a recession. Get ready. This is extremely important, and I want to empower you. So I'm Doug Andrew. I've been helping people optimize assets and minimize taxes now for nearly 5 decades, primarily as a financial strategist and a retirement planning specialist. And so one of my favorite financial vehicles that helps people not only survive, but thrive when there are market downturns, crashes, and recessions is a max-funded indexed universal life insurance contract, because you do not lose when the market goes down. And the minute it turns around, you begin to make money from that point instead of having to wait 3 or 4 or 5 years to make what you lost during the crash or the downturn. So let me share with you how to create your own economic stimulus, because frankly, big government can't. So many times this USS economy is like a sinking ship. And Congress tries to spend their way out of recessions. Many times, these congressional revenuers are like rearranging deck chairs on a sinking Titanic, changing things and doing this smoke and mirrors, thinking that by passing economic stimulus packages, that they're going to spend their way out of a recession. No, that does not work. This is what causes inflation when they print money and pass all these packages and what have you. It's basic economics. If your outgo exceeds your income, your upkeep will become your downfall. This is true for us personally, but also with government. And so if this economy is going to sink in a recession or a depression, my goal here is to help you board a lifeboat so that you can safely stay afloat. This is why I teach these strategies on this YouTube channel. I want you to board a lifeboat so that if that ship sinks, you will not suffer losses when the market drops 20, 30, 40%, because it's going to happen, and it's going to happen again and again. I want you to stay afloat. And so this is why I'm very passionate about teaching concepts about indexing and helping people get empowered. This is why I address in my book, The Laser Fund, how to accumulate, access, and transfer your money tax-free, but how to protect your hard-earned money from the negative impact of taxes, inflation, and market volatility. Now, you do that by converting your money from those IRAs or 401ks invested in the market to tax-free vehicles, and that you actually combat inflation by linking your returns to the things that inflate. A lot of advisors don't know how to do that. I don't like inflation any more than anybody, but it doesn't hurt me. It helps me. I've always been able to earn a rate of return of at least 5.5% greater than the inflation rate at the time. Back in 1980, when inflation hit double digits at 10, I was earning 15.5. In 2022, 2021 to 2022, and inflation was reported by the government at 8.7%, which is a joke. They don't include the cost of gasoline and real estate and so forth. The real rate of inflation is usually triple what they report the CPI to be. But the real rate of inflation was at least 15%, maybe as high as 25%. What did many of our clients earn on their IUL policies that year? 25%, 61%, even 158%, because when there's anxiety, there's opportunity. And so this is accomplished with a properly structured, maximum funded indexed universal life insurance contract. And if it's structured correctly and funded properly, it is deemed a laser fund. And so at the end of this episode, I want to gift you a copy of this book that's pictured here on the screen, and I'll show you how you can claim your free copy. But people get duped, okay? Most people, I think, are duped into putting money into tax-deferred IRAs or 401ks invested in the market. And then when these things happen, and all of a sudden in retirement, the government goes after the people who have the money. Well, those are retirees who saved in IRAs or 401ks, and the government has a permanent tax lien on that money, and they go after the people who have the money, and those are retirees. And so that's why I say, maybe the 401k is not the cat's meow we thought it was. It doesn't really cut it when it comes to retirement. And so the thing that really disturbs me the most is sometimes these legislators are slowing down what could otherwise be a robust economy when we're trying to score touchdowns, and yet they pass all these things that are actually slowing down the economy because they think with fiscal and monetary policy that they know better. Unfortunately, a lot of congressional people, politicians, have never even run a candy store before. And so they don't understand economics, and they pass economic policy, and then they wonder why the economy is heading into a recession, why there's inflation, because they've never taken economics 101 before. I'll give you a quick example. Many times, like when the COVID-19 pandemic hit, and the government spent twice as much in the year 2020 as they brought in revenue. If you're not aware, in 2020, the IRS collected about $4 trillion in tax. They refunded about $800 billion, so they netted $3.2 trillion. Well, they spent double that by extending unemployment benefits and so forth. But instead of trying to pull in the reins, they said, oh, wow, we have a good excuse here to pass more spending. And so they passed a bunch of economic stimulus packages, and they're spending 3 to 4 times what they bring in. I mean, if you or I were making $100,000 and we kept spending $300,000 to $400,000, we'd have to file bankruptcy. No, not them. They keep passing all this stuff, and then they wonder when they go, well, businesses need to pay their fair share. And so Biden, he said, well, I'm going to raise corporate taxes from 21% to 28%. They're going to pay their fair share. That's only 7% more. They can afford it. He doesn't understand that most corporations only have a 2 or 3% profit margin. And that's not a 7% increase. That's a 33% increase. See, they don't get it. See, if a corporation is making $1 million in profit, and they used to pay 21%, that's $210,000. And now at 28%, they have to pay $280,000. That's $70,000 more. $70,000 is 33% more on top of $210,000. $280,000 is 33% more than $210,000. And yet politicians, they don't get it. And so they wonder why businesses have to change to automation. They lay off people. They raise their prices, and they go, oh, those evil, greedy corporations are raising prices. Well, the politicians are the ones that caused it because they raised taxes thinking, well, they can afford it. Well, no, the corporations had to lay off people or raise prices of goods and services. That causes the cost of living to go up. And so even raising minimum wages to $15 or $20 an hour doesn't do any good, because when you go to the hamburger stand or the gas pump and you're spending more money, it's like this vicious circle, and that's what I'm talking about, okay? This is why I use these cartoons, because they pass all these laws thinking they're going to solve it by spending their way out of a recession. And they're slowing down an economy that would otherwise be robust if they would just laissez-faire, leave hands off. That is French for just leave it alone. But no, they can't leave it alone. So if you want to empower yourself because Congress keeps doing stupid things, you want to get your money so it's immune from the negative impact of taxes, inflation, and market volatility. I do that by putting money into a maximum funded index universal life insurance contract because my money is tax-free. I am able to benefit because I link my returns to the things that inflate, and I'm immune from market volatility because my money's not in the market anymore. I get to participate when the market goes up and not lose when the market goes down. And so these are the benefits of having money in a maximum funded IUL policy, but your money's liquid, safe, earning a predictable rate of return, and is tax-free. Is this intriguing you? If you would like to learn more, I would love to gift you a copy of this 300-page book called The Laser Fund. Now, here's how you can claim your free copy. It's actually 2 books in one. This side is about 200 pages, 14 chapters with all kinds of charts and graphs and explanations. And this is for the left brain learner. If you're more of a right brain learner, you learn by stories and examples. You flip it over to this one, and this is about 100 pages, 12 chapters with 62 chicken soup for the financial soul stories. If you like to learn both with your left brain and right brain, read both of these books. But you claim your free copy by going to laserfund, laserfund.com, or click on the link below, and you contribute a nominal amount towards the shipping and handling. I'll cover the rest of that cost, have some skin in the game, and I'll fire out a hard copy to you. Now, while you're in there claiming your free copy, if you like to listen and learn or watch and learn, there's audio and video versions available for a nominal charge. There's also educational webinars we teach on a weekly basis. Those are free, no charge. Also, you can schedule an appointment at no cost or obligation with an IUL specialist to see how a properly structured IUL contract, a policy, can be done correctly to be a laser fund for you so that you can create your own economic stimulus and be immune from the negative impact of taxes, inflation, and market volatility.